Hello, dear ones. It's very nice to be here again, and I am well aware that nobody will be on this call except me, and so I get to do whatever I wish to do. We do have questions, and I will be answering a couple of them because they actually have a lot to do with stuff. The first thing I'd like us all to do is to ground. Imagine the crystalline grounding cord coming up from the center of the earth, going all the way into the sun. It's as wide as the room you're in. So if you're in a big room, it's as wide as that. And if you're in a smaller room, it's as wide as that. Everything that's around you, that's really important. And because this crystalline grounding cord is very strong, high energy, powerful, anything that doesn't vibrate at that frequency just gets zoomed right into the sun or down into the earth to be recycled. So that means that if there's stuff around you or in you that needs to go away or that isn't harmonious with you, it'll just be pulled out as well. Because frankly, dear ones, you don't need that crap. You wish to be at a higher level of being, not at a lower level of being. And then open your hands and take in the white Christed light. So as I am letting it run through me, let yourself feel it coming into you. Feel it going through each of the cells, the molecules, the atoms of your body, all the way down into the smallest parts of you. And I use atoms and molecules because those are actually physical things, but the reality is it's not only the physical places where this white Christed light is going, it's also the spiritual, mental, and emotional places. And those don't have actual physical, tangible things. There are molecules and atoms in your physical body, but in your spiritual and mental bodies, there's a whole different level of being. There's energy, and all of this white Christed light is going into all those energy parts of you, so you can really attune to them, to yourself, on a much higher level. And so now that you're doing this, I find this really important because somebody asked a question about ascension, and I'm going to address that first because that's a really important issue. I have done a meditation many months ago on patches, and I said if you looked at your energy field, you could find patches, squares, or places where you have not had ascension in those places. So some parts of you are certainly vibrating at ascension level, and other parts of you are vibrating at a lower level. That's what I mean about patches. So for example, you could have a patch right here that is vibrating at a much lower level than right around here, which is really moved up the ascension scale. And so my meditation at that time was to go to each of them, put them into present time with the present time wand, and then start peeling off that patch and really cleaning out what was in there so it can also rise. So that's my way of saying that many people don't realize that you don't ascend in altogether. There's some parts of you are more ahead than others. Some lag. Some are over here. Some are over here. They're not all. They're like cats. They haven't quite been herded in the right direction. You know how hard it is to herd cats. Oh, I think I want to do this. Oh, I think I want to lick myself. I want to go to sleep. You have to really nudge those cats in the right direction. And that's kind of what you do when you are working on the ascension process. Some of you goes forward, some of you goes over here, doesn't want to do it, some of you is into fear, some of you is into anger, some of you is into sloth, You know, all, interestingly enough, those 7 deadly sins, which are deadly because, not because they're bad, but because they keep you from moving forward. That's the point of them. Because if you're in wrath, you're stuck in this horrible place that you can't get out of for a while. And that doesn't do anything for you except really poison your whole system, toxify you. So at any rate, I'm saying all of this because the ascension process isn't a do A and then do B and then do C and then do D. No, in point of fact, what the ascension process is more like do A and then deal with the fallout of doing A, and then do B and deal with the fallout of doing B, because nothing is linear here. When you make a step up in your energy field, what happens, in fact, is that as it ripples through all of your bodies, all 4 of them, and ripples through your spirit, your heart, your mind, your physical body, and every part of them reacts. Some part of you will go, yes, but think of those cats, and some part will go, that's scary, or your mind in particular, oh no, we can't do that, we can't do that. Ooh. Your mind is really good at putting up barriers, thoughts that negate. So you have to, at each step, regroup, take a deep breath, regroup, realign yourself. That's one of the reasons I like to use the rainbow tornado. And I use the word tornado because it is a spiral. It's a whirlwind, but it's not a fast one. It's a really slow and lazy tornado. But what it does is it very gently moves stuff out and puts new things in. So as you are aligning with trying to get to the next step, everything inside of you has now suddenly got chaotic. Send down the rainbow tornado, run it counterclockwise so that you can remove things that got stirred up. You can deal with some of the noise in your head and the fear in your body and in your heart. And then, once it's all drained into the earth, then bring it down and run it clockwise so that you are then absorbing new vibrations, new energies. So all of you can get in realignment at the next level. One of the reasons that Arian really likes the spiral as a form, and I do as well, is because the spiral is like this. It goes up and up and up, but it comes at the same point, except it's higher and higher. So you might have the same issues come up here, and then at this here and here and here, but they're not the same issues. You're dealing with it from a much higher perspective. Each time you spiral around, you're dealing with more different, higher level issues. You're dealing with things on a much more elevated perspective and understanding. So, and circles don't do it because you come back to the same point. But with spirals, you come back to not quite the same point. Same issues, but not the same. I keep mentioning this because there are certain issues that play out in our lives, and as they do, if you can deal with them in a different way at each point when you get to them, that shows you're evolving. And so in the same way with these tornadoes, as they take out old stuff and bring in new vibrations and really allow you to integrate some more, you can take a deep breath, absorb that tornado run through your body and out into the earth, and then remind yourself that when you are dealing with all of these issues that are tearing you apart, that are driving you nuts, all the anger and fear and sadness and frustration and depression, retreat, all of these things that are bugging you, it's like, oh yeah, it's because I took another step and everything is like this right now. So take a deep breath, bring in those tornadoes to clear out and realign you, and then everything will work a lot better. I know I spend a little time talking about that. And someone asked a question about seeing a friend and feeling really awful after seeing the friend. In particular, one of the things that happens when you see people who are not at your energy level, let's just imagine that you're a ball of gold sunlight, that you are at a very high vibration, and you run into someone who isn't. Several things will happen. One, you are going to cause some kind of reaction in the other person. And if they're not at your level, or they are not choosing to be at your level, they are going to react rather harshly. They're going to do whatever they can to get you down, or they're going to tell you awful things about yourself, or leave, and or all of those. For a lot of people who are not at a high energy level, it becomes very scary for them when they are dealing with somebody at a higher level. Now, some people, I recommend that if on a scale of 1 to 10, if you're at about a 7, that's a good way to function in the world, because most people are down at 4 and 5. And if you would like to be with people who are 6, 7, 8, and 9, that's wonderful, but the world isn't like that. So, dear ones, let's be practical. So if these people are at a lower level, you need to interact with them. You can be kind and beam them your higher energy. But a lot of people are going to react in a way to keep any way they can to drag you down, to disrupt that energy, to bother you, to make you feel bad. And one of the ways they do it is by diddling with your grounding cord. And what I mean by that is you need to, you supposedly have a grounding cord, grounding to the earth, grounding to the cosmos. Just like I have you do at the beginning. So you can hear what I'm talking about right now. I know it's going to be delayed because of the technical difficulties, but so what happens is that it's like they will send out a kind of scythe or sickle into your grounding cord, or something into your grounding cord to disrupt it, to cut it off, to make you feel disconnected from your source, from your highest wisdom. And then you're kind of, what happened? And what they're doing is dragging you down, making you feel bad. And then they feel better. Then they can get to you. Then they can screw up your energy. They can help themselves to it, because you're suddenly floating around going, what happened? And so what you need to do whenever you feel suddenly negated, feeling depressed, feeling unworthy or shamed, or just suddenly, I'm not feeling so hot. All of those things are symbols or signals that you are ungrounded and that you have been slimed in some way. So as soon as you feel that, immediately check your grounding cord. It might be missing, or it might be played with, because one of the nice things that people tend to do, or the not so nice I should say, is they try to hook into your grounding cord and suck your energy, because then they can feel good and you can feel really bad. So clean off any suckers. Just cut off that grounding cord. Not cut it off, but disengage it. Send it away and put down another grounding cord, so all their energy is off. Comb out your energy field. And most importantly, go through each of your chakras and raise your energy to an 8 or 9. You're not going to stay there, but as you do that, you will immediately drive out anything that is at a lower vibration than that. And then call in all of your energy and just put it into a basket in front of you. Call it in from wherever it's been grabbed or taken. Use your present time one to tap it into present time, to right here, right now. That removes everybody's cooties. This is really basic stuff, but it's always good to review it. And then you can bring it into you. But because when you are feeling out of balance or knocked off your center, it's because somebody doesn't wish you to be there. And just as important, as a lot of people don't wish you to be there, because if you have this enormous vibrational energy, you are a threat to many people because they wish to control, and you're not going to be controlled. You're at a much higher level. So realize that people do tend to get really hostile or uncomfortable around someone with a higher energy. And just recognize that happens and just keep breathing. Don't stop. Just allow that in a way, what you can do with people who feel like that is call in either the white Christed light or just higher divine energy and just say, I'm sending it through me to all of the people. Just like I call down the white Christed light through me, and it goes out into all of you. And I allow that all of you who are not at the level that I am yet, but that's why I'm here, is to get you all there, is that you take that in and you spread it out. And everyone that energy touches immediately changes. And that's what you can do. Okay, dear ones, let me see if there's anything else I wish to talk about today. But I think we covered some very nice things here. Oh, yes, one more thing. I would like to say that as you are reaching higher and higher levels of being, allow yourself to put out feelers or put out, not feelers isn't exactly, put out announcements that you're here and ready to connect with the other people in the world who are at your level or above, who are working to transform and heal this planet and more. So all of you just feel that connection to Source, that connection to each other, that allowance that you are going to be part of a network. Now people have talked about this for 30, 40 years and more. A network of light workers and light bringers, and that's fine. But we're doing it at a much higher level now. It's like people have said, yes, we can do that, but really we're ready for a whole different level of change. And so I invite you all to be working on that. And now I'm done. So thank you, dear ones. Let's run the white Christed light for another minute because a lot has come up. If you are feeling overwhelmed right now, if you are feeling attacked or drowsy or depressed, I'd like you to take a moment to disconnect your grounding cord and run that grounding, the crystalline grounding cord back up through your body, through your being, and hold on to that if you can over the next few hours. You can do it at any time. Remember, you can always put in new grounding cords. Okay, dear ones, thank you.